Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Thursday, October 18th, 2012. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Chip Ramsey with the Saturday Independent newspaper. In tonight's news, early voting began yesterday. 4th District Congressman Scott Desjardins may face an ethics investigation, and Democrat Eric Stewart's campaign says internal polling shows that the 4th congressional race is a statistical dead heat. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6. Stay tuned.
Tullahoma Drug has a gift for keeping well. You know about prescriptions, but there's so much more to tell. There's a gift for all occasions, for body, soul, and mind. Cards to show you care, gifts to show your kind. There are remedies and recipes and treats, you'll want to eat them. Stacks of books from famous cooks and spectacles to read them. Shades and frames, puzzles, games, dishes, plates, and mugs. We're a Tullahoma treasure. We are Tullahoma Drug.
I'm Judd Matheny, approving this message as your Tennessee State Representative for the 47th District. When some of you think of me as State Representative, you picture me in a coat and tie at the historic and beautiful state capitol. Nashville's a scenic city. From the Parthenon to the Ryman, it's easy to lose focus. I want you to know that when I serve there, all I can think about is improving your quality of life and protecting your rights here. Nashville's beautiful, but it has nothing on the citizens of the 47th District.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Welcome back. Early voting for the November federal and state general elections began yesterday. In Coffee County, early ballots can be cast at the Election Administration Office in the CCAP building in Manchester and the CD Stamps Community Center in Tullahoma. Election officials remind voters they must have a valid photo identification in order to qualify for the election. A state driver's license or state-issued photo identification is acceptable along with a federal-issued ID or gun carry permit ID. Photo IDs issued by local governments or student IDs do not qualify. A state appeals court began hearing arguments yesterday, which was Thursday, in a lawsuit seeking to, Wednesday rather, seeking to overturn the new law, which Republican lawmakers say was necessary to prevent voter fraud. The city of Memphis and 2 residents are fighting the law, claiming it will disenfranchise nearly 400,000 people who don't have government-issued photo IDs, including more than 100,000 voters over the age of 60. Their lawsuit also seeks to force the state to accept photo IDs issued by the Memphis library system. Courts in Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Texas, and Wisconsin have blocked similar laws, at least for this year's election. Mississippi is also delaying its voter ID law.
4th District Congressman Dr. Scott Desjardins may face an ethics investigation resulting from a sexual encounter with one of his Marion County patients some 12 years ago. The charge by Democratic challenger Eric Stewart of Belvedere has stirred interest in the November contest that the first-term congressman was expected to easily win. Desjardins has acknowledged that a transcript of the recorded conversation with the former patient is genuine, but said he was pressing the woman to acknowledge that she wasn't actually pregnant. The Washington, D.C.-based Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics, filed a complaint with the Tennessee Health Department on Monday. Tennessee code prohibits consensual sex between physicians and their patients. Desjardins could face a range of punishment from probation to suspension. Suspension of his license. The Tea Party favorite urged the woman to seek an abortion following their involvement together. He now says the former patient was never pregnant. Stewart says Desjardins' action is disrespectful of the voters of the 4th Congressional District that includes Warren, Franklin, and Grundy counties.
Democrat Eric Stewart's campaign says internal polling data shows the 4th Congressional District hopeful in the statistical dead heat with Republican U.S. Representative Desjardins. Pollster Andrew Moyers said the survey of 400 likely voters shows Desjardins leading State Senator Stewart of Winchester by 49 to 45%. That's a dead heat, he said, because it falls within the poll's 4.9% margin of error. Myers also said, quote, the polling was conducted Sunday and Monday in the wake of revelations that Desjardins in 2000 encouraged a former patient with whom he had had a sexual relationship to get an abortion, end quote. Meanwhile, Congressman Desjardins had one of his best fundraising quarters of the election cycle, topping the $1 million mark in total contributions. The congressman shows nearly $600,000 cash on hand, with almost $200,000 raised in the last 90 days, opening up a 7-to-1 cash advantage over his opponent. According to recently filed Federal Election Commission documents, Eric Stewart shows a total of $84,000 cash on hand as he goes into the crucial last 3 weeks of the campaign.
Manchester aldermen have approved on final reading the sale of a piece of property located on Interstate Drive that had originally been purchased to build a new police department. Those plans were scrapped last year when the city realized it did not have the funding in place to move the project forward. Aldermen also agreed on third and final reading to end a policy that gave city employees the option to take accumulated holiday pay in a lump sum after leaving their job with the city. That policy allowed retiring Manchester Police Chief Ross Simmons to lead the department with nearly $120,000 in payouts.
We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Hi, Trim McNabb, General Manager, Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. We're doing our part to raise awareness for breast cancer, and for every vehicle sold in the month of October, we will donate $50 to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And we're making it easier than ever to purchase your vehicle at Stan McNabb with our Pink Tag Clearance event. Like on this 2012 Chevy Sonic, just $239 a month with 0 down. Or this 2012 Chevy Cruze, just $289 a month with 0 down. Come in today for the Pink Tag Clearance event, and remember,
if anyone can, Stan can.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Hello, I'm Jim Woodard from Woodard's Diamond Showroom. Some think that since we're a single store operation, we don't have the buying power of the mega chain or department stores. Woodard's is a part of the Master IJO Jewelers, the world's largest jewelry buying group. This gives us the power of $800 million in sales. You get the best of both worlds, the buying power of a major with the customer service of a hometown jeweler. Woodard's Diamond Showroom inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Robert E. Lee Elementary School in Tullahoma is having their annual Great Pumpkin 5K fundraiser this weekend. I spoke earlier this week with 2 of the event organizers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today at Robert E. Lee Elementary School where they're getting ready for the Great American Robert E. Lee Great Pumpkin 5K. I'll get this right here in just a moment. I'm here with Julie Cottrell and Carrie Baxter, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what this event is about and what it's going to go to provide for the school. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Great Pumpkin 5K, this is our 3rd annual 5K and fun run. We will start off the day at 9 o'clock on October 27th with a 5K run for the community. We do have some students participating, but the 5K is mostly for the local runners and community members who enjoy running. So we're going to start off with that, and we will run a course that ends here on the playground. Then we will start 1-mile fun runs for each grade. We'll start with kindergarten, 1st grade, and we'll have winners on each grade level for the 1-mile runs. Then we will have activities, bouncies, all sorts of physical games for them to get out and exercise and play until about 1 o'clock that afternoon.
Now, if I remember correctly, everybody can participate in this. You don't have to be a runner or anything necessarily. You can choose what you want to do. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We certainly had, even for the 5K, we had those who maybe started off running and then decided to walk the rest of the way in, and we cheered them on just the same. They all had a great time. So you don't have to be, a person who is always seeking out 5K runs to do this.
I believe I saw you mentioned walking, and I believe I saw a lot of adults that were actually just walking the course.
Sure. And sometimes they want to do it with their kids too, to get them going on the 5K, and so the adult will just walk with them along the way or run part of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is something I believe you told me that you'd done this. This is your 12th event like this, and she also said her last one. Is that
my youngest child is in 5th grade, so this is my last Robert E. Lee Festival. But they've always been wonderful. They've always been great family fun events where families get to come out, have fun with the teachers and the staff and the kids, and bring everybody together for a day. And we're just hoping that this is another event like that.
Now you guys are both volunteers, I think, for this program, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, what happens with I know you're raising money from this event. What happens to the money that you raise on this event?
We are hoping to continue the playground renovations. If you look at our playground, you'll see that it has a fresh coat of paint over a lot of it, thanks to our PTO and our parents who came out just a few weeks ago, and we started with painting the equipment that was in good shape. We are going to hopefully do some repairs and some other cosmetic things around the playground to get it looking good by the end of the year is the goal. In addition, we do still hope to buy a few more Promethean boards for our classrooms. Those are the interactive boards that our teachers use in teaching, and we just have a few more classrooms that don't have those yet, and so we want to finish off the Promethean boards as well.
That's been a project you guys I know have worked on before, so I guess over the years you've just about equipped all the classrooms with that. Is that right?
Little by little, inch by inch, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, if someone wanted to participate in the 5K run or be a part of this, is there still time for them to do that, or they just need to show up that day?
They can show up that day. There are registration forms and information on the school website and on our Facebook page. You can print them out, you can send them in, you can bring them by the school, or you can just show up that morning. We're hoping to have a good turnout, so ideally everybody's going to get a beautiful 5K shirt who registers. The last minute registrations may have limited size options, but hopefully if you really want a shirt and you want that particular size, go ahead and get it turned in as soon as possible so we can get that ordered.
Okay, one more time. This is coming off on October 27th. Okay, so be here at...
Registration will start at 8. The event will start at 9.
So if you're running, you want to be here ready to go. The race starts at 9.
Okay, and you still got a couple of weeks left, so if you want to really be serious about this, maybe you could go in training and still be ready for this in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
All right, great event. Thank you, ladies, for being a part of it and help organize it. Stay tuned. More Newsleader on 6 is coming up straight ahead.
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Our office used to look like this, but now with my paper-free office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic, and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My paper-free office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Welcome back. MTSU Professor Dr. Charles Perry has designed a plug-in hybrid retrofit kit that is gaining attention worldwide. The kit replaces the rear brake drums on any car with battery-boosted drums and claims to double your gas mileage. Dr. Perry is featured on this month's MTSU student-produced show, Out of the Blue. Let's watch Dr. Perry explain how this works.
The real innovation in this technology of being able to convert any car to a plug-in hybrid automobile is how do you add electric traction. There have been many approaches to this. Some of them involve interrupting the drive shaft if it's a rear-wheel car. Others use a technique where they drive through the lug nuts. But we wanted a technique by which it was transparent visually and also performance-wise. So what we have done is taken the space that exists around the rear wheel brake structure and packaged a DC brushless motor. This is a three-phase DC brushless motor for maximum amount of torque. The permanent magnets are on the back side of this rotor. There's an array of permanent magnets, 40 permanent magnets on this rotor, and when the system is actuated, this turns into 200 foot-pounds of torque. There's one on each side of the car. I'm going to have the motor turned on now so you can see how it rotates. Now this is in static operation. In actual operation, you start accelerating with the car, then the traction motors turn on and supplement or augment the traction provided by the gasoline engine, thereby reducing the amount of gasoline required. In actual operation, this system will double your mileage in town. When you get out on the interstate and go above a certain miles per hour, the system will automatically cut off and becomes transparent. When the system is not operating, the wheel turns just like it normally does, and you don't even know it's there. Packaging of this motor without modifying the wheel mounts on the car, just as you see, this is the rotor. This is what we've added. It wraps around the brake structure, and then we just add the wheel, and the car operates as normal. Like any plug-in hybrid, it requires a battery and a controller, and an operating system to control it. In this application, we have a lithium iron phosphate battery here in the rear of this 94 Honda wagon that's rated for 80 volts and 100 amps. It supplies the power to each of the DC brushless traction motors that we discussed just a moment ago. This particular application, we use two DC brushless motor controllers mounted on the back of the battery pack. This particular system is larger than it needs to be because this is a research vehicle. In the actual operation, I mentioned it'll be about the size of a carry-on bag for an aircraft. As I mentioned earlier, in hybrid mode, which we have proved with this laboratory prototype, it doubles the mileage while you are in hybrid mode. So this is all off-the-shelf components. There's really no great innovation in the battery or the controllers. These are off-the-shelf components. As I mentioned earlier, the innovation that is patented is how we add the electric traction.
And you can watch that show in its entirety as it airs several times for the balance of this month here on Charter Channel 6. The Performing Arts for Children and Teens is hosting Halloween fun at South Jackson Civic Center. You can visit the Sunny Acres Sanitarium October the 18th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th to see just how spooky a loony bin can be. The fun starts each night at 8 p.m. at a cost of $5. All proceeds go to fund PAC's ongoing efforts to involve local area children and teens with the performing arts. John Gray brings us this video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the front of the South Jackson Sanitarium. That is an asylum that is taking visitors for Halloween this year. And it is kind of a spooky looking place. If you have young people or old people that like spooks and all those things that happen around Halloween, this is going to be opened this coming weekend and next weekend at South Jackson Civic Center for all of you spook freaks out there. Come and see what happens at the Sanitarium and Asylum at South Jackson. And this is the graveyard
because someone has stolen
at the sanitarium, and I'm sure that will have something to do with all the goings on at the sanitarium. So it's something you need to come see at South Jackson Civic Center. And this is the cast and crew of the Haunted Asylum at South Jackson Civic Center. Here they're coming through the graveyard. What a wonderful way to start a day.
Probably been laying on the table in his video.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up straight ahead after these messages.
Are you looking for a new car dealer that offers no games, no gimmicks, no hassles? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Keith Barnett here today with my nephew Clay to tell you about the all-new 2012 Kia Optima. Yours today for $21,995 after rebates and incentives. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. No games, no gimmicks, no hassles. My question is, tell them, Clay.
Why buy anywhere else?
Welcome to Camino Real, home of the area's most authentic Mexican food. Expect quality service in a friendly environment that features the only truly authentic Mexican food in the area, with favorites like tacos, fajitas, enchiladas, burritos, tostadas, freshly made guacamole, and Mexican rice, all made from scratch using homemade Mexican recipes and only the freshest ingredients. Come and enjoy a meal at Camino Real with the great food, friendly service, and warm atmosphere of Old Mexico.
Being a representative, at least for me, is about building relationships. I consider each person that I meet in Nashville as an opportunity to make life better for the citizens of this district. 10 years ago, I was a freshman representative. Today, I'm Speaker Pro Tem of the Tennessee House of Representatives. That's a decade of connections that have brought jobs and prosperity to this district. Who you know is vital. Who you represent, that's what it's all about. I'm Judd Matheny, and I approve this message.
Since 1889, Traders Bank has been helping our neighbors realize their dreams. Whether our customers are looking to put a roof over their heads, try their hand at entrepreneurship, or see themselves behind the wheel of a shiny new car, the folks at Traders Bank have always been ready to dive in with them. Because at Traders, we lend you more than just money. We lend you our good name. Traders Bank, you're welcome.
Welcome back. The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is a Labrador mix named Frankie, who is available for adoption. Frankie is approximately 10 months old and has had some vaccinations. He is great with other pets and children and will receive a free neuter provided by the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tullahoma. Microchip identification is available to all dogs adopted for a $10 or greater donation to the shelter. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. State law also requires a $25 deposit, refundable upon proof that the adopted pet has been neutered or spayed. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
And the Coffee County Humane Society's featured pet this week is Scooter. Scooter is a tan and white smooth-coated mixed breed. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. The hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2711 or 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at Post Office Box 252, Manchester 37349, and their website is www.coffeehumane.org. And we want to remind you that the last Dog Days of Summer Adoption event will be held this Saturday, October 20th from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the New Life Church parking lot across from the Old Southern Market. Dogs, cats, and kittens will be available for adoption.
You can do your part to clean, green, and beautify Tullahoma this Saturday. The Tullahoma Fall Cleanup Day starts at 8 a.m. and ends at noon. Volunteers are needed to spend as little or as much time as they can to make Tullahoma more attractive. Participants can enjoy a friendly competition, refreshments, and the opportunity to win door prizes. Volunteers wishing to help should call Public Works at 931-454-1768 to sign up, and then meet at 8 a.m. at the Tullahoma Public Works Department at 942 Maplewood Avenue. The volunteers will be given supplies and assignments for the day, for the event, for the rest of the day. To report to the area needing cleanup, call Public Works prior to the event. The event is sponsored by the City of Tullahoma Public Works Department, Keep Coffee County Beautiful, and the Interlocal Solid Waste Authority as part of the Great American Cleanup Project. Rain date is October 27th. We'll be back in a moment with your weather forecast.
The highest standard of excellence requires dedication and commitment. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of excellence in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has offices in Tullahoma. And for your banking convenience, offices all across this region. At Citizens Tri-County Bank, we listen when you tell us what you want in banking. So at our beautiful new Tullahoma downtown office at 201 North Jackson Street, enjoy the kids' playroom, home-like fireplace sitting area, drive-up 24/7 ATM, ample parking, and lighted and camera-monitored drive-thrus. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1963 at 84 degrees. The record low was in 1948 at 25 degrees. The average high on this day is 71 and the average low is 46. For tonight, look for partly cloudy weather with a low of around 43. Sunny and windy weather expected for Friday with a high of 66 and a low of 42, and sunny weather in the forecast for Saturday with a high of 64 and a low of 43. And don't forget football on tap for this weekend again.
Yeah, big stuff. Coffee County Youth Football plays Saturday morning in McMinnville if you're wanting to catch one of those. But we also got the Wildcats and the Red Raiders playing this weekend. Coffee County hosts Franklin County for their homecoming matchup. So 7 o'clock, Cardin-Gerald Field. You can catch the pregame on with Derek Harriman and me on Fantasy 101.5 FM. And Tullahoma
takes on Warren County this weekend. Tullahoma, good shot to have a playoff game at home. So we're looking kind of excited for the Tullahoma fans. They have a much better season than expected. So get out and catch one of those games if you get a chance. That is our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6.
Have a good evening.